the silent village. The night air hung heavy as Lucas made his way down the narrow, winding road that led to the village. He'd heard the stories about the town that had vanished overnight, the people who had disappeared without a trace. It was said to be cursed, a place where the veil between life and death was thinner than anywhere else in the world. But Lucas, a skeptic through and through, was determined to uncover the truth. The village, nestled deep in the woods, appeared eerily silent as he stepped onto its cobblestone streets. The houses, old and weathered, stood like ghosts, their windows dark and empty. There were no signs of life, no footsteps, no voices, nothing. Just the chilling quiet. As he ventured further, a thick fog rolled in, swallowing the path behind him. He turned back but couldn't see where he came from. Panic bubbled in his chest. Had the fog always been this dense? "Focus," Lucas whispered to himself, taking a deep breath. His boots echoed as he moved deeper into the village. The air grew colder. He pulled his jacket tighter around him and hurried to the only building that seemed to have any sign of activity. The old tavern at the center of the village square. The sign creaked as it swayed in the wind. Inside, the tavern was strangely well kept. The fire in the hearth flickered, casting dancing shadows on the walls. But the place was empty. No barkeep, no patrons. The stillness was almost suffocating. Lucas approached the bar, examining the untouched mugs and bottles. That's when he noticed it. The newspaper, yellowed with age, sitting on the counter. A headline read, "The Silent Village, a mystery of vanishing souls." Curious, Lucas opened it. The story described how, many years ago, every single resident of the village had simply disappeared. No bodies, no signs of struggle. The authorities had searched for months but found nothing. Some believed it was the work of supernatural forces, others a curse. But there was one detail that caught Lucas's eye. An old map of the village, marked with a peculiar symbol in the forest. It looked like a cross with a circle in the middle, etched into the earth near the edge of town. According to the article, it was the last place anyone was seen before vanishing. His heart raced as he realized the place on the map was nearby. The fog was growing thicker by the second, but something compelled him to find it. With the map in hand, Lucas left the tavern and made his way toward the forest's edge. The trees loomed above, their twisted branches reaching toward the sky like skeletal fingers. The fog enveloped him, making it hard to see more than a few feet ahead. But the sensation of being watched was palpable, pressing down on him with every step. Then he saw it, an ancient stone structure covered in moss, standing alone in a small clearing. The symbol from the map was carved into its surface. The air felt charged with energy, like the very earth beneath his feet was alive. A low, guttural sound echoed through the trees, a whisper, almost too faint to hear. As Lucas approached the stone, the ground trembled. His legs went weak and he stumbled back. From the shadows of the trees emerged a figure, a woman, her face pale and her eyes hollow. She was dressed in an old, tattered gown, her long hair flowing like a curtain of shadows. "You shouldn't have come here." The woman's voice was soft, barely above a whisper, but it felt like an icy wind brushing against his skin. "Who are you?" Lucas asked, his voice shaking. "I am what remains," she said, her eyes locked on his with an intensity that made his blood run cold. "I am the last of them, the villagers. They never left. Their souls are trapped, and now yours will be too." The ground beneath Lucas's feet split open, and the earth swallowed him whole.